What's up, tubers? It's James here, and welcome to my new daily October series, horror recommendations for the easily scared, where I recommend one horror movie per day to that one friend of ours who is either too squeamish or too scared to be in the same room when the movie is on. I'm sure we all know someone like that. Now, I'm not gonna be that mean. I'm not going to suggest you to tie your friend up and force them to watch it in like a spinny chair yet. I'm going to slowly help you guys help your friends in. So by the end of October, you can all watch a screen full of blood and gore, and they're not batting an eyelid. Hopefully. Well. So, my first recommendation was for It Follows. 2014 movie. Director David Robert Mitchell, writer David Robert Mitchell. It's about a young woman who is followed by an unknown supernatural force after a sexual encounter. Now, I really like this movie because it adds a bit of spice to the horror genre. It's not overly gory, not overly scary. It's got that sexiness you want, but it's also got the fear of the aftermath of it. It's basically a movie about an STD in a way that you can spread so you can keep alive. Yeah. It's got a relatively unknown cast. Maika Monroe, Keir Gilchrist, Olivia Lucard, Jake Weaver, Daniel Zavato. But yeah, it's more on the indie scene in a way. It came out quietly, and it's one of those horror movies that would actually work if it had a prequel or sequel. But yes. But today's recommendation is the 1990 Stephen King classic, Misery. To dip your toe into October, I went with the sexy to get you into there for you and all that. Now I'm going more with the how would you put it? The psychological / or painful. Because, I can't remember what it was. It was either the Stephen King wrote the book and then had his car accident, or had his car accident and then wrote the book. But I was like, it freaked King out. It was like, holy fucking shit. But the synopsis for Misery is, after a serious car crash, novelist Paul Sheldon, played by James Caan, is rescued by former nurse Annie Wilkes, Kathy Bates, and this is one of her most scariest roles. You may know Kathy Bates at the moment with American Horror Story, The Coven, Roanoke, and now Apocalypse. I'm not all caught up on that. But yes, Annie Wilkes, who claims to be his biggest fan, and he brings him to a remote cabin to recover, where her obsession takes a dark turn, where she discovers Sheldon is killing off her favourite character from his novels. As Sheldon devises plans for escape, Annie grows increasingly controlling, even violent, as she forces the author to shape his writing to suit her twisted fantasies. Now, we've all been there, all read a book, all didn't like the outcome, but it's what King does. It's It's not his best work, but it's for a film. It worked. For my Australian audience, it's only rated M. So again, dip your toe in. Just like I said, we're going the painful route now. And for my American audience or overseas audiences, apparently it's rated R. Whatever. It's. I watched this when I was 12, I think. 15 or 15. Actually, yes, probably. Sorry, I watched this when I was 15 because I was like, "Yay, you can finally get M-rated movies," and my mom was like, "Oh, don't get that," and I was like, "Whatever." So my sister, who was 12 at the time, watched it with me. There is a scene in it that if you've watched this movie, you all know about. And I'm gonna watch it now to actually give you the right emotion. Oh, there we go. Oh. But yes. Okay, before I start playing. So, director, Rob Reiner, great director. Writer, Stephen King, and the screenplay, William Goldman. It's basically James Caan and Kathy Bates. Richard Farnsworth is in it for probably a total of 5 minutes. Francis Sternhagen is in it probably again for about 5 minutes. But it's basically just the psychological battle between Paul Sheldon and Annie Wilkes. He is recovered and he wants to leave, but she is a former nurse and a number one fan. And as hopefully we all know in Stephen King's works, that's never a good thing. So you're going to hear a scene and you're going to see my reaction, and it's...
Do you know what they did to the native workers who stole diamonds?
Kathy Bates is so young in this, and
they didn't kill them. That would be
I can't really talk about James Caan. He's always been old for me.
No, if they caught them, they had to make sure they could go on working, but they also had to.
Oh, this scene is so bad. When it was explained, well, she's explaining about hobbling. My sister and I were like, no. It's like, no, you can't do that. She just pulled a block out, and we were like, no. Between his feet.
Maybe. Whatever you think I'm not doing, please don't.
She's pulled out a hammer. We were like, no.
Hey, God.
No. You actually said it!
Almost done.
You don't see the second one, which is surprising, but you hear it. Like, I believe you heard it.
God, I love you.
That's what you need to just watch it for, that scene mostly. It's all intense, all serious. He's been acting like the tough guy for most of the stay. And she's like, you know what? I don't appreciate that. So, to up the power, she does that. And then she's like, God, I love you. Like, my sister and I, our faces were like... Mum came home and she was like, how was the movie? We were like, that scene. She's like, yeah. And I was like, huh. So, yes. Misery. That is my second recommendation for the month of October for horror / thriller movies recommendations for the easily scared. Show this to your friends. Show to the squeezy ones. I bet they'll be like, that with their hands, because it's always like that with your hands. But yes, because it's like I said, I'm starting off slow. I went with the sexy, with their follows. I'm going with the painful, with misery. Ugh. So let's build the trust before you make them shit themselves. Now, if you've watched Misery, please tell me what your thought was as the hobbling scene was happening. And if they were to remake the movie, not that I've heard anything about it, who would you like as Paul Sheldon and Annie Wilkes? I don't think it would be anyone who can do it as fucked up as Kathy Bates can. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. And happy Halloween.